Well, if you think accessing the US financial system is out of reach if you are not a US citizen or if you do not have an SSN number, then you are in for a surprise. In today's video, we are going to go through the process of not just opening a US bank account, but getting a US credit card, and also how you can get a US bank loan without being in US or without stepping in US. And that all you can do from anywhere in the world. So let's get going. So hi, welcome back to buildfba.com, where we break down complex topics to make your financial decisions easier. We also cover Amazon topics and e-commerce, so that's what this channel is more about. But we also cover financial topics at the same time. So today we are tackling a question which many of you have asked: can you open a US bank account and or get a US credit card without having an SSN? SSN is a social security number. The answer is resounding yes. You can get both without having an SSN or without being a US citizen or without having a US visa or a US passport. So without spending much time on this, so let's get going. So the first question is, why do you need a US dollar account, or why do you need a US bank account? So the US is a global currency, and if it's considering it's a global currency, which is a currency which is used across the world as a reserve currency, or you may also have a business need to open a US bank account. So there are two ways which you might need a US bank account. One is as an individual and the other one as a business. So first we're going to cover up as an individual how you can get a US bank account, and then we are going to move to the business bank account, and at the same time then we are going to move to how to get an individual credit card or to get a credit card for your corporate or for your business, which is a business credit card. So these both are possible. The first one is how to get an individual bank account. So in order to get an individual bank account, so there are three ways how you can get a US bank account or a US dollar account. So first is a US dollar account. So US dollar account is basically it's not a bank account, but it's an account wherein you can receive US dollars and you can remit them across anywhere as a US dollar. The first one is through Payoneer and the other one is through Wise. I have put the links in the description. You can go through it. You also have some offers if you sign up to the links. They all are available in the description. You can just check them out. So back to it. So over here you can see that first one is a Payoneer. Once you go over here and you can go and sign up and you can set up your individual US dollar account, or you can go to even go to Wise and set up your US or your GBP or your Euro global account or an Euro Wise account. So these are two ways where you can open an individual account, but there are some countries where this US dollar account is not available to the citizens of all the countries. It's available only to select few citizens, which you can go to the list. If you have, you can open that. If not, you can just move on to the next one, which I'm going to discuss. The second one which I like the most is an online bank account. So first one was a US dollar account. The second one is a US online bank account. So in the US online bank account, you get all the facilities, everything which you need as for a banking. The only thing which you need for this US Mercury, which is again, I have put a link in the description. You get $250 US if once you sign up to the link. In this online Mercury bank account, you can go through, you can sign up and you get all the benefits. The best part about the Mercury is that they do not charge you for international wire transfers. And yes, and you can transfer across the world, and anyone from across the world can open a US online bank account through Mercury. The only thing is you will need an LLC or C-Corp to open this account. So when I say to open a C-Corp or US LLC, which is both easy and you can easily open it within like 7 days. Again, there's a link in the description. I have already covered this, a whole lot of it, of how to open an LLC and which state you can open an LLC, or in which state you should open a C-Corp. So this is both up to you. So basically setting up an LLC or C-Corp is like having a business entity in US. That's up to you where you want to open it. There's a whole video on it. It's there in the description. It costs $0 to open a US entity. The only thing you need to pay is a state fees, which is around anywhere from 75 USD to 200 USD depending upon which state you are choosing. The cheapest states are generally charge around $75 US to open or to set up an LLC in that state. This is all done. I recommend US. Why do I recommend a Mercury bank account? Is there a benefit of opening it? It's more designed for e-commerce and startups. So you don't need to maintain a minimum balance which you need to maintain with the physical bank accounts. At the same time, as I said, you don't have to pay for international transfers or for incoming transfers. the ACH or wire transfers, they all are free and they all work pretty well. I have been using it personally. I used to use Brex before. Unfortunately, Brex has stopped issuing new bank accounts for small startups. They do it only above $1 million of sale a month and stuff like that. So I moved to, so they asked me to move out of Brex to Mercury, and so I moved to Mercury, and since then I've been very happy with Mercury. So what are the documents you need to open an Mercury bank account? The first document you need is your LLC certificate or your C-Corp certificate. The second is your passport. The third is one address in US, which is easily available. So you basically need only these 2-3 documents to open a US Mercury bank account, and you are sorted. So now the third one is how do you get a US physical bank account? Bank account with Bank of America or with any of the banks, well-known banks in US itself. For that, you need to travel to US at least once in order to open a bank account. When I went over there, so not all the banks in US accept foreigners as an account holders. There are few banks which do accept foreigners as an account holders. This is for individuals. So in individuals, Bank of America, US Bank, and there are one or two other banks which accept bank accounts of non-resident, non-American citizens. Bank of America easily opens an account. All you need is your passport copy and nothing more. Apart from that, if you want to open a company account as a physical company account, and if you and all your owners and all your partners are non-residents, then you can open it with Wells Fargo. They're one of the best which I have seen opening a physical bank account. Is there a benefit of opening a physical account over an online bank account? Well, not much. It doesn't matters much. You can use either of it and it works perfectly fine. So you need to walk into a local branch over there and ask them that you are a non-citizen and you would like to open a bank account, which can be an individual or it can be also a company account. In both the cases, they're happy to help you out and they're happy to open an account. It generally takes a days or 2 days time. Now, a lot of times people ask me that if they are not staying in US for a very long time, where should they send the debit card and all? So in that case, you will need an address in US, which can be an address of someone from your friends or family, or maybe an Airbnb where you're staying for a long time, maybe like for 7 or 8 days. And you can request an Airbnb host that you will be receiving your debit card, and if they're okay with that, most of them will agree that it's not a concern with it. So that's how you can open a physical bank account in US. So now moving on, how do you get a bank loan or a debt from a bank? Or let's say, how do you get a loan in US for your US business?
To get to know, order your credit report from the credit bureau to make sure that I have diligence, including late payments or overnight balances, as these.
All right. So moving on, how do you get a loan in US? For that, if you are an e-commerce player, I recommend going to Sellers Funding or Sellers Fi now as they are called, or you can go to Cabbage. Both the links in the description. The Sellers Funding were one of the first to give me a lending in US. They are very easy to get loan from. All you have to do is just connect your Amazon account with them, or Shopify account, or Walmart account with their accounts. They go through everything. Once they're satisfied, they are happy to lend you. Apart from that, Amazon lending is always the other choice, which is there, but that all comes later. Amazon lending comes much later to lend you. Seller Funding and Sellerfi are the first lenders to you who are happy to lend you. Their interest rates are a little bit on the higher side. They might charge you like anywhere from 12 to 18%, but it again depends on case-to-case basis. But if you really are looking for, if you do not have any credit history and you want a loan for your business in US, then Sellers Funding is perfect for e-commerce players. Having said that, the other way of getting funds for your business is from US bank account, but they're a little bit difficult since you do not stay in US. How can you get a credit card in US? That's an important one. So there are two ways to get a credit card. As you do not have an SSN number, the other way to get a US credit card is you need an ITN. Getting an ITN is very easy. Anyone can get an ITN, especially if you're an LLC. So one way to get a credit card in US is to build a credit history, and this you can build a credit history through an ITN. If you don't want to apply for an ITN and you just want a credit card, let's say a easy one is the easiest way to get a credit card in US is when you walk into a physical bank account, you can always ask for a credit card, and if you deposit like $10,000 or $8,000 or $15,000, they're always happy to issue a credit card when you do that. The other way of getting a credit card is through American Express. So if you're an American Express member in your home country and you say that, hey, I would like to get a credit card for a US, they're happy to do it. And you can apply this online without going to a physical location or anywhere in US. The other way, if you have an interest in living in US in future and if you want to build a credit history in US, you need to get an ITN. So when you get an ITN, the full form of ITN is Individual Tax Identity Number, which acts as your credit history recorder if you do not have an SSN. So in order to do that, you need to apply for an ITN through an ITN agent. Again, there's a link which you can check it out. But having said that, with the ITN, what you can do is you can get a credit card against deposit. So you tell the bank that, look, especially Capital One is what you can use, which is a easier one. You give $500 and you take a credit card out of it. And over a period of 6 months, 8 months, you build a credit history. So once you build a credit history with your ITN, you can use this ITN to apply for better and bigger credit cards. And that's how you get a credit card in US. Of course, apart from Amex, if you have a history in other countries, they're happy to transfer your history to US and get you a credit card over there. So it's not that difficult to get a credit card to start with. So that's it, folks. If you need any more help, if you have any questions, feel free to drop comments, like and subscribe, and I'm happy to help. Cheers.